Hello, it's Marta. Welcome to my YouTube channel. After such a long time, it was more than 1 year since I recorded my last video, and this journey was so long and so exciting, and I didn't have energy, to be honest, to put this everything together. I started to preparing also my podcast in the middle of the time to tell you all of this journey, but I thought okay, it's 1.5 years. Let's make the update video. So everything started almost exactly 2 years ago because we were almost in May, and May was the time when I moved to Madrid. So 2 years ago in May, I had this one-way ticket to Madrid to start my new life. And it was so amazing and so exciting, but also eventually so difficult because at the same time I started my own business and my idea was to work in Madrid with my own new business. But guess what? It was so challenging because you come to a new place, you want to discover everything, you want to meet people, you want to feel you are a part of it. But at the same time, it's I don't like culture, but culture in Madrid is you go out of the time. So I had such a strong FOMO when I was working so long and my friends would be having a dinner or dancing some salsa or bachata or whatever, those very Spanish things and Latin things. And I would be working on this business. And then summer came. And summer in Madrid is crazy, extremely hot, 40 degrees sometimes. It's really difficult to do something else than sitting in AC or going to the pool. So I decided to go for those holidays. And because I was going for holidays, I stopped my agreement from my apartment. So I thought I will go there and then look for a place when I'm going back. And I put all luggages, basically everything I have in houses of my friends, which fortunately I had from the beginning. So that's a good thing. It made it a little bit easier. But then after going back from vacations, it was such a difficult moment because for own business, vacations summer, it's usually the moment when people stop using services. So they had this moment, or maybe have a break, maybe the budget was not enough to continue with the services, and I basically had to work a lot of looking for new clients, which is absolutely normal when you are starting new business. But I think I was not fully aware of it, and I thought if I'm tired, it was already 3 months, so why would I still hustle? I should stop and only have all the summer for connecting my clients, but not really focus on growing the business. So when I came back to Madrid, I came back for nothing. I only had my things here. There was nothing at all. No work, no place to stay. I didn't even speak perfectly Spanish and I felt so lost. I felt what should I do right now? Should I pack those things and go back home to my family? Since they were always welcoming me, and whatever would happen, they will always tell me that I can go back. Of course. And this is amazing and absolutely beautiful. But at the same time, I felt it's my journey, it's my fight. I have to do it. And the idea was, since it was so difficult with the own business, and I thought maybe I will start this business for a second, focus on some full-time job in some big company, and after all, I can always come back to this business. I can always renew this marketing agency, but doing 2 new things, new country, which is not very familiar to me, where I don't have family, which in language I now neither even speak. And at the same time starting new business, that seems too challenging. And it was too challenging, to me at least. And I took this decision to look for the job. So summer, 2 years ago, I remember sitting in some Alicante Airbnb and basically look for the job. And I found a perfect role. At least the role I thought will be perfect for me, perfect for my experience. I basically had all basic and required qualifications. So I thought I'm a perfect candidate and I would apply. And I applied for this role, but in the middle of the time, I realized recruitment process will be so long because this was a very big company. And it's my current employer actually. But do not tell you the story from the end and spoiler it all. Let's keep it chronological. I had to take this very big decision. If during the recruitment process and not having an idea at all, if I would get this job or no, because obviously they couldn't promise me it because I applied. I was thinking if I should stay for any price in Madrid or go for this time to Poland. I thought that going back to Poland would be such a going back to my comfort zone. And in case if anything would go differently, it would be so quite of easy, at least it would be 2 years ago, to find a job in my field in Poland, since I was like native speaker and already had so many like international experiences with work and with studies, with everything. I thought like I could be like quite competitive candidate in my marketplace in Poland. And then going back to family home, which is like, of course, it's amazing, full of love space, but on another hand, it's something I took decision to move out. Why would I take this step back and go back there? But in Madrid, I had nothing, as I said, so it was not like, yeah, I just stay there and my parents will be like paying for my apartment or whatever, and then I'm just figuring my things out. It would be cool. I'm not saying that having support from parents is something bad, it's something truly amazing. I had it, but only in like emotional level. So unfortunately, if I took the decisions to live in another country and so on, then I had to 100% make sure that I can afford it to myself, but by myself, independently, absolutely. And this is like a huge and strong lesson, which made me cry like more than 100 times probably in my life. But on the other hand, it's a good lesson because it's always showing me like I'm achieving my things, I have this mental support, but whatever I'm doing, I don't have this imposter syndrome because I know that if not me, there was not this thing, this goal achieved. Anyway, going back to the point, when I decided to stay in Madrid, I had to do something, and my friends, however lovely they are, they would not necessarily agree that I live there till we don't even know when. Because how could we know when exactly I would start my new job, etc. So beside of course, part-time jobs, but you also have to start before they pay you, even for serving coffee or whatever. Like, you need this time to live somewhere. And I didn't have this place. I could stay a few days, but not necessarily 1 month. And I remind that like in the past, I was this au pair in Madrid. That's actually how I came first time ever here. And I decided, why not? It's not my dream job right now. It's not my dream situation to live with some family and even lovely kids. But like, this is like kind of sacrifice which I'm doing for my higher goal, to not go back to this comfort zone, to make sure I will fight for this Madrid. And I came there, made this decision, stayed with the family. It was unfortunately extremely far from Madrid. It was not even close. It was not even city around. It was absolutely different city. So I was extremely disappointed because I couldn't spend time in Madrid. I just couldn't, because if I go to Madrid and stay here for a dinner, for example, I have to sleep in houses of my friends, which was not really that easy. It was not only that possible because they also have their lives. So like sleeping over when they have to go to work another day, it's like kind of asking for too much. So I was thinking about what can I do, crying there every single night. I couldn't even work anymore for my own business. Even I was like closing it because I already took the decision to start a corporate role. However, the another thing is there was like no connection at all. So my room was like under the ground. And I'm not even commenting that it's like so not nice to don't have a window or whatever, because it's a period of time. It's not permanent or anything like that. So sometimes you can push a little bit more because we know, okay, after it, sunshine will come out and our situation will be improved. But the thing is, I didn't have space to work and have connection and have like Wi-Fi in there. And then if I go upstairs, the flat was extremely small, so there would be like everybody. There would like be those parents, the kid, the dog, and I honestly had no space, no like even quiet place to work. And this company where I applied for already started asking me for interviews. And I couldn't do this interview because I didn't have connection downstairs, and upstairs it was not possible because of all the like kind of home circumstances. And I didn't know what to do. Like, should I go back to Poland and do this interview from there? Because honestly, I stopped seeing any more like solutions. I know maybe now after time it sounds easier. It would be like, okay, ask them to go out of home, or like not ask to go out of home, but when they are not at home, like do it upstairs, like manage time and everything. But if you are in this situation when you are like extremely depressed and crying every single night, you're not the place you wanted to be. You are figuring out like your professional career. You are figuring out like the country you wanted to be. It's all so extremely difficult that I couldn't think like this clearly like, yeah, there were solutions, of course, but I found another solution, which was also good, I think, because I asked my friends to do those interviews in their house. And after this interview, it was disaster. There was extremely noise in this apartment. I remember like someone's playing guitar during my interview. The interview was like not with a person, it was like interview, you record yourself. Like I'm recording myself now. But now I'm doing it for like you guys, for video. But if you record yourself for interview, it's such uncomfortable feeling. I don't know about you. You can let me know in comments. I'm super curious to see if you feel like great doing this type of interviews. Unfortunately, in my case, I didn't. So after all of this, I gave up and I thought like, I have to leave this home, I have to leave this family. They were extremely lovely and nice, but I couldn't stay in a place where I cannot focus, I cannot work, I don't have connection, and then I cannot even be in Madrid daily. It doesn't really make sense at all. And I packed all my things. I bought this ticket to my family home. I honestly felt such a relief. I even started to think how I could like figure out my life in Poland. I was like, I tried again, because it was not like first time. There were so many situations before when I almost took this decision because this journey was so difficult. But this was like this really huge moment of like this, what people could call fail probably. Like, oh, you didn't find a job here. Okay, you don't have a home here, you don't even speak Spanish. So like, yeah, you went back, you failed, right? Like, no, I didn't fail. It was just the beginning of my journey, because I took this decision to not fail. I took this decision that it will be a learning, it will be a challenge. But this decision and this difficult moment will not make me decide to give up on my dreams. Never. So I went back to Poland. I asked for a second interview because I got a mail for like next step, but I asked for the interview in the person because it would be again this like recorded video. And I said like, there was an option to ask if we need anything and everything. So I used this option and I had an interview in person in Poland, my family home, super quiet place, extremely quiet. So it was the best circumstances ever to do this interview. And this interview was extremely difficult, like star method, all the competency-based questions, are they using data, hard motivation, like knowledge also about company. I know it sounds basic, and right now to me it's like basic interview, but those years back, it was not basic. And still having in mind that I'm like about a bit more than 2 years after my graduation of my master's degree, I feel still like I'm still learning in my professional career. It was such a like big challenge anyway. So I made this interview and I got for the next step of the interview, but I already found another family to go back to Madrid, however crazy it sounds right now. And it seemed perfect because they were like closer to Madrid. It seems like, all right, it will be so cool to like really be back to Madrid. And like, this role was based in Madrid, and I remember even speaking on phone with like my life coach, my best friend at the same time, and she was like, sometimes they can offer you some other location because it's a big international company, so maybe they offer you another location. So if you buy this ticket again to Madrid, maybe like, you will have to again like change and so on. But I was already so like motivated, that determined, I would even call it, that I was like, no way, like I'm staying in Madrid. I dream to be in Madrid, not somewhere else, at least for this time. So I will do everything what it takes to be in Madrid. And I bought the ticket to Madrid. I came to this family, again, all the things from homes of my friend, crazy times. And I started to work, to live with this family as au pair again, and waiting for the next steps of this interview. And the next step of the interview I took from home of my friend, another friend from Madrid, and it was really nice space, so I could totally focus. It was like this panel interview when you have like 3 interviews the same day and only like 5 minutes of break, so you cannot even basically go to bathroom. At least I think it's like risky because it's like run, so I would only like drink water, go to balcony and like basically breathe because I was so stressed. And yeah, it was first week of working for this family. I took this interview. I know everything was so risky, but at the same time I feel, speaking about it after such a long time, like more than a year, I feel so calm speaking about it, because I feel like it all makes sense. Like all of my decisions, if I reflect on them, they maybe seemed risky or very like impulsive in the moment, but if I look from now, I feel like they were just in peace with myself. So living in a new home with new family, taking care of their kid, I got a call like after a few days. It was not even 1 week. And I got an offer. And I was the most happy person in the world, because honestly, it was the hardest recruitment process ever. And I know I didn't go through like, I don't know how million of roles, but I have my professional experience already. I did many interviews in the past for like different fields, different companies, also like those international, like very like big companies. So I really thought like it's such an achievement. I mean, it would be anyway, if it would be startup. I think it's like imposter syndrome if I speak this way about it, because every of our achievement is already like the biggest success. If we want it, of course, if we feel like it. So I was so happy and relieved. But the job started from January, and it was like kind of middle of the autumn, of the fall. So it was a long time to start the role, and again taking decision if go back to Poland for this time, just calmly chill and wait there, or stay in Madrid. And it was so difficult because I took decision to stay in Madrid, stay with this family. I thought it seemed so logical, so nice, they were so kind and so loving. And so I don't know, like I felt really like at home in there. So I was like, why would I go back if I already feel good here and have this like good atmosphere and have like place to stay? And I'm already eventually in Madrid, right? But then everything changed, the expectations changed. They started to be like expecting me also like clean a home and not only be like this au pair and meaning of staying with kid, but also like they're English teacher, but like English teacher. So it's not exactly what au pair is. Doing million of tasks, never like giving me days off. Honestly, like even Friday evening, I was supposed to stay there. Even like weekends, like there was no time where I could really like be, having my free time and not think about like this for a second. And when you live with people who you work for, it's even worse, because like your brain is not like resting. And after this all, like this journey started to be even more difficult, because they started to be like kind of aggressive to me in like emotional way, and speaking like the way which is very like, inappropriate. Like, let's skip this part, it's just difficult experience, but I'm sharing it because I think it can also bring some value and motivation for you if you are starting your journey, and kind of be ready that it's not always everything looking so beautiful and so good vibes, and sometimes we have to go through like the certain situations. It's our choice how we react, and if we stay there or if we move out, etc. But like to let you know that not everything is that extremely easy as it looks like. And I feel like, for example, my Instagram, it looked like, yeah, I moved to Madrid, live my dream life. People were asking me if I ever work, because it looks like I only have like cool lunches and everything. Yeah, because this is the only thing I've been posting. But like, I didn't post myself crying sometimes almost every day, or even like few times per day. This journey was really not easy, and I think like being not independent at this moment back, I was not. I had to live with them. I didn't have any other place to go. I didn't have any other like income even back in time. I couldn't like afford my even morning coffee. It's not like morning coffee is something so obvious, but you know what I mean. It's like €2 if they don't pay me. So it was really difficult, and eventually, after all, I bought a ticket for Christmas to my family, and I thought to go back and like start my work from probably their home then, and after like decide if we can do two things together. So my work would be like during the days when like the kid is at school, and after I could like afford to move out and start my own independent life eventually. But before Christmas, first my mother got COVID, and we were so stressed if like, should I go there, should I not, how she's feeling. Like it was extremely difficult. And then I got COVID in Spain out of the blue. I have no idea how, because I was hardly seeing someone, and all my friends, like those few people I've been seeing, they were COVID free. So it was really weird. And this family got extremely mad at me without the reason, because obviously it's not my fault that I had a COVID, and they told me I have to move out on Christmas. And I was like, where with COVID? Like, should I go to like hospital? Or am I like, where? Like, I cannot book even a hotel. I mean, I couldn't afford a hotel, but even if I could, I can't move to a hotel when you have COVID. Like, doesn't work like that. And we are having those strong conversations every day. And it was really like one of less nice experience I ever had, probably because, you know, thinking every day like going to sleep if tomorrow they will kick me off eventually, or if I still can stay there, because I was of course isolated. They did data as they didn't have COVID, so I didn't really see clear reason why should I like live with COVID. And I was the one taking care of their kids, so it was like they invited me. It was not kind of favor that I invited there when I had COVID to stay there for my, you know, isolation time. Anyway, moving forward, I had to move out because they kicked me off. They kicked me out basically. And I moved to my friend's house and other friends far from Madrid, lovely home, like with a pool in the mountains. It was January, like December, sorry. So not really time to use the pool, but use this nature and breathe and have this meditation time. Definitely yes. And they also had COVID. They felt perfectly good. So we were all like just, you know, having this self-care time, doing some yoga, having little walk, and like this gentle for ourselves time, watching movies in the evenings. I felt like mentally starting like recharging. And then first month like of my new work from January, after all this like isolation time and crazy times in general, again with all my stuff, I moved from the house of my friends to house of my another friend to start working from his living room. Because since I applied already from Madrid, I didn't have relocation. This was kind of mistake looking back. It's a good advice to always think about like relocation. If you are somewhere, but if you are somewhere like officially, if you are like resident there. If no, probably you can have relocation. And this is really helpful because I couldn't afford my flat for starting my work. I couldn't afford even a room, anything. Like I could like maybe help like paying the bills as I did with my friend. So I was working on his sofa for 1 month and sleeping in the same sofa. And it was nice because of course I was living with a friend and everything. But on the other hand, it's like such a big favor from him. And I felt I need like my independent life now. Like it took so many months. This whole journey was so difficult. There were so many extreme moments, and emotionally I was so exhausted. And like after this first month, I finally found an apartment, and this is exactly the apartment where I'm right now. It's like a studio, and I moved here. And trust me, first few months when I moved here, I would like not go out of home almost. I would like sleep a lot, watch Netflix. I didn't want to do anything. After all this journey, I was emotionally so tired and mentally so like exhausted to the like borders of my, you know, being able to take it and keep going, that I had to absolutely recharge myself and like therapy, like healing of myself after it, because it was so difficult. And it was like I feel this journey made me stronger eventually, but I really had to figure those things out. And this figuring things out didn't take me like 1 week, it was like many months. And then since like last January starting and last February selling this apartment, now we are here already in April. And already April, like 1 year and 4 months working at Amazon, working in my role, being like confident about my life, being independent, doing things which I love. And also like about like few months ago, within Amazon and also out of Amazon, I became coach, like personal development and career coach, which I think absolutely makes sense if you hear my journey and like how many things I went through, because it gives this sense like how can I help someone in their personal growth development? How can I help my clients to really not give up, to stay consistent, to keep going and pushing even if they feel like they already failed? Because honestly, it's not a stupid phrase when people say you never fail until you like give up and stop fighting. It always sounds so cheesy to me, but after my journey, I feel it's exactly what it is. Because there were so many moments that I could give up, close this journey, and be like, okay, it didn't work out. No Madrid. You know, like I failed, why would I like fight for it? But it was every single time I never really took decision to go back and like stay there. I could go back and buy new ticket and figure out new family or new role or new job or whatever, but like I would never take decision to absolutely give up. And right now, after these 2 years in Madrid, I have my new thoughts, I have my new goals, I have my new reflection also about like living in Madrid. But this is another thing, and this is for the next video for sure. But like eventually I feel like I achieved my goal. The journey was definitely everything but not easy, and I couldn't be more happy, but also more grateful for somehow having this strength for making my dreams come true. And I could not wish you anything more than making your dreams come true. I think it's the best feeling, and you have this like life in your hands when you are making dreams come true. And after those type of journeys and challenges, you also feel like you are capable of doing anything you want, because you went through so much that nothing would surprise you, right? Have a wonderful day, evening, or morning, whenever time you are hearing to this. Remember to subscribe and leave some comment. I'm so curious to hear also about like your journey, and maybe you have some questions. So we see each other in next video. Bye.